See, I'm coming to get that. Now,
Let's see, Magic. This is what I
let
said.
them score 200 to 200. What is that?
But if the players don't care, then why should the fans care?
Yeah, exactly. There it is. There it is. We can't get into it if you're not into it. All right, welcome back to another After Dark, everyone. Hope y'all are having a good night so far. Hope you guys had a wonderful day. It's finally cooling off over here, and I couldn't be more happy. And by that, I just mean for tonight. By tomorrow, it'll be another hot day. I wanted to check this video out. This was suggested from the community at least a couple of weeks ago at this point, so my apologies for taking so long, but, you know, the queue is pretty wild. So this one's called What Happened to the Game I Love. Now, this is from a channel called Prime Larry Bird. So I'm assuming this is a Larry Bird video, but I'm not sure what the context of this is. It's about a 22-minute long video, and as usual, like I'm not pre-screening everything, so I really don't know what is going to be discussed in this vid. But I'm very interested in it. This is what I consider probably the best, at least that I found. It's the best Larry Bird YouTube channel I've seen, and I gotta say I often watch this channel on my own, and it's one of those that I'm really glad I found, and I found it because of reacting, because of doing reactions. I found this channel, and I'm really glad. So what I'm gonna do is not talk about it because I don't know what the video is about, but I'm going to link the original video down below in the description for you guys, so you can check out the channel for yourself if you end up liking this video. And if you're a fan of Larry Bird, honestly, I wouldn't even hesitate if I were you guys. I'd just go down there and give it a subscribe, because I think you'll like the stuff that you see on this channel. But anyways, so that's going to be in the description. You'll also see a list of channel members. Shout out to every single one of you. I really appreciate the support lately, and if you guys couldn't tell, I'm trying to give it right back to you by doing these videos that are, you know, obviously going to get, you know, copyright claimed, and not even hesitating with it. So that's kind of the relationship here. Is, you know, the more member support I get, the less I care about ad revenue. You know what I mean? Like the NBA can take it. All right, guys. I think that's it. I just wanted to show my appreciation to you guys. I'm having a blast doing this, and actually this summer I'm having more fun than ever because I'm getting to cover all kinds of stuff that I've wanted to talk about but haven't been able to until now. So I appreciate you all. Like the vid if you could. It would help out a ton. And without further ado, let's do it. It's nighttime. Get your popcorn and your drinks out, all right?
Right before the 2024 NBA All-Star Game, Larry Bird gave a pep talk to the players to give maximum effort.
Oh, yeah.
The one thing I would really like to see is they play hard tonight in this All-Star game.
And this is how they responded.
In last year's All-Star game, Larry Bird walked into the locker room and talked to the players. And then one of the superstars, who will remain nameless, but everybody can surmise who that was, gave a side eye to those guys while they were talking. And then the players went out there and let 400 points be scored.
That's LeBron James. In case you guys couldn't figure it out, it was obviously LeBron James. It's been confirmed it was LeBron James. So, you know, it ruined it right there. You know, screw with this old head saying, you know, we do what we do.
Quiet.
And then what happened? The worst All-Star game of all time.
Gives them what they came for.
Flip that board.
200.
I think the All-Star game in general needs a little revamping because it used to be competitive. You know, fans want to see the best pickup game in the world.
Yes.
That's what this is. They don't want to see you running up and down and dunking and doing all this crazy. Like, they want to see what happens when you get this collection of best basketball players on the planet and they play and they go head up against each other.
Man.
I mean, you guys play harder at a pickup game in UCLA.
For real.
It ain't billions of people watching.
For real.
Definitely do.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely do.
Which is why the next year, Larry Bird didn't even bother to show up. He was disgusted.
Damn.
Because today's players just don't seem to care.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that coming from Kobe is huge because he was the last one to carry that torch in the All-Star game that really played hard, and he set the tone. Because if you weren't going to play hard, he was going to embarrass you, so other people had to step up. The next person was supposed to be LeBron. Didn't do it. Could have been KD. He didn't do it either. Nobody did it. And they even had to get so desperate to have a guy like Bird try to motivate him. But nope, they didn't care. So, like, and it's so true. Growing up with the All-Star games in the 80s and the 90s, and even the early 2000s, it was the greatest pickup game in the world. It was must-see TV because this is the greatest hypothetical ever in professional basketball. What happens when all these guys are on the same team and they go battle against each other? It's great entertainment. Greatest pickup game in the world. Now, it's like watching a bunch of toddlers, like little kids, just playing basketball but not really playing. No defense. They're just chucking threes and laughing and having fun. Yeah, it's not what we want to see. Maybe it's fun for the players, but it's not fun for the fans. And no wonder why we're not watching it. I wonder.
Our game, he's disgusted. He was invited last year, you know. And,
he wouldn't go.
He thought it's a joke, and it is a joke, and it's awful. And I blame these players. They don't have any sense of personal pride. I don't understand it. They gave us 211 to 186 last year. That's disgraceful. It's embarrassing to me. I mean, they should be embarrassed.
They've got to do something with this All-Star weekend.
Oh, man, we talked about that.
Yeah. And Magic and Bird used to be the guys who set the tone as well. And they had help from others, obviously, Dr. J, Isaiah Thomas, and others. Yeah. And then it became Michael Jordan, who was setting the tone. And there was always somebody on the opposing end ready to match him because they might see each other in the finals. It's just the way it goes. And then it went to Kobe, and then it died after that. Like, nobody wanted to carry the torch after that. But this was going on for like 30 years at least. And now it's gone.
The first time in history, I didn't watch the entire weekend.
Wow.
I didn't didn't watch because you don't have to give 100%, but you got to give 80. You got to give 75. Make it a game and make it competitive.
So I went to Larry, and I said, Larry, what was your attitude toward All-Star games? I wanted to win. Quote unquote. I wanted to win.
Yep.
We played competitive games. No, you don't want anybody to get hurt, but you played basketball, and you wanted to win. Gee, how elementary is that?
Yeah.
Bird trying to save it, and here come to the east. The Doc in open court. Cheeks.
I mean, how hard is it to understand? It's such a simple concept. Anytime you ever step on a basketball court as a competitive person, you should play to win. You know, that just it starts that way, and if it's not that way anymore for you, it's probably time to move on to something other than basketball, something that drives you, you know, that makes you feel alive again.
Goaltending charge against David Thompson, and Larry Bird picking up where he left off.
And when guys stop doing that and participating, Michael Jordan was in the slam dunk contest. Yeah. Dr. J, Dominique Wilkins, Clyde Drexler.
Dude, Michael Jordan even did a 3-point contest. And everyone likes to clown on him for doing it. But, dude, the whole idea is to participate for the fans. He understood that.
Bird 3-pointers.
Yes. It made everybody tune in. And then made players want to watch, too.
Yeah.
Guys got to play.
They got to play. They got to play. We took pride in playing.
Yes. Yeah, Paul Pierce did, too.
Like, I wanted to. Yes. Toe hurting, knee, ear, finger. Like, I still want to be. I'm out there.
Yep. And here how many times did Paul Pierce get shot? Like, literally shot, and he's still out there being a warrior?
As he comes popping.
And this time he pooped his pants, and he came back out. Like, what kind of... come on, man. If you could crap your pants in the middle of a game and then, like, still come back and play... Come on, man. Well, what are these other guys' excuses?
Let's see. Gore returns. Rondo
Get in.
Pierce for 3.
Bangs. Feeling 3 pounds lighter. Let's go.
Celtics back up by 1. They're rejected. Rondo back to Pierce.
3 pounds
Another
lighter.
3.
Oh.
Puts it in. Back-to-back 3-pointers for Paul Pierce.
Bro, real shit, it was totally different. It wasn't no, you was out 2-3 games, man. Your teammates, hey, bro, what you doing tonight? You going? Nah, I can't go, man. My toenail off, man. I can't. Nah, bro, you can't even come in here and lead no niggas like that. You hear me? So you had to strap it up and you had to get out here. You had to dive on the floor. You had to get in the rumble. Yeah. Right. Real shit.
Oh.
Man, it was men leading men.
Yep.
I love the NBA game.
Wow, that hits, guys. That hits.
Shit. Man, it was men leading men.
I love the NBA game. but then I turn on to a game, right? The stars are not playing. It's hurting the game.
Yep.
And fans see it, and fans are reacting to low management. They don't get to see their stars. One game I tuned into just a couple weeks ago, both stars were out on both teams.
Yeah.
That made the game ragged.
I mean, the first problem that this created was it's not worth people's money to pay and watch, to go, you know, to dedicate an entire day to go watch a basketball game, spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to do it, just to get disappointed because they didn't live up to their end of the bargain. The stars aren't playing. Cool, I got ripped off. Now it's trickled into, we don't even want to like tune in half the time because we have other stuff we could be doing. And we used to tune in knowing 100% these stars were going to play. Now we don't know, you know? So viewership is down, and there's a damn good reason for it. I find myself doing the same thing where I'm like, who knows who's even going to be out there, you know? Why bother take time out of my day? I can go accomplish something on my own.
If you get paid to go to work, you got to go to work.
Yep.
You know, I probably should have retired in 88, 89.
He had lost the structural stability in his spine. So it would slip into abnormal positions to try and lock itself to get an artificial stability. That's like getting your finger stuck in a door and somebody's still pushing on the door. So what we had to do was unlock his spine, realign it, do techniques that would hold that for 4 hours, 6 hours, that type of thing, and then he'd go play basketball.
And every time I would play, I was wondering if I was going to be in a wheelchair. Was I ever going to be able to, you know, walk on the beach or hold my kids? But it's that competition.
Damn.
Maybe one more chance, me and Magic get together in the finals.
The Bird versus Magic rivalries of the 80s have completely disappeared in today's NBA. And that drama is what made the casual fan tune in. But
straight up, still the best rivalry in NBA history in my mind. It was so good that Bird was playing longer than he should have because of the injuries, just for a chance to have another showdown against his nemesis. And then when said nemesis went out, couldn't play anymore because of contracting the HIV virus, Birdman, he said, okay, now it's time for me to go. Because that's it. His rival's gone. The competition's not the same. What was driving him was beating Magic. And that motivating factor is now gone. And that's why I say, for a lot of these players, if they don't step on a basketball court and play to win, in practice, in preseason, in regular season, playoffs, all-star games, Olympics, if they don't feel that drive anymore, then it's time to do something else. Okay? And I know they made enough money where they're going to be fine. Make way for people who are hungry, who actually still want to win.
now, whether it's players versus the fans,
We got a fan that's got a little unruly, and LeBron is pointing it out to the officials.
Probably called him the B word.
And what they're going to do is they're going to put him out.
Cry baby.
Versus the media.
Oh my God. She did the cry baby
versus
to him.
the refs.
Now Fred VanVleet was just thrown out of the game.
Freddie's got to be
yeah,
careful.
you're gone now.
Hopefully he didn't make contact with the referee.
It's not
He poked the ref, man.
Or even versus the ownership.
Throughout this game as Doncic rips another one and immediately turns to the Mavericks bench.
That image.
Today's NBA is losing viewership because it's gotten away from what made the NBA great in the first place, which is when players had actual rivalries with other players.
Yep.
What's happened to the rivalries in today's game? I mean,
they don't hate each other. I hated Larry and every Celtic.
When Magic Johnson talk about that hatred, that's what we love to see. That doesn't happen because everybody mingling with one another.
Now everybody's shaking each other's hand. Everybody like each other, won't go at each other like really hard.
And their attitude, as long as we give you that 48 minutes on the court, we good.
Yep.
And in the end, we don't really care because we got our paper, but it's hurt the game.
That's what happened to the All-Star game, see? We hated the East.
Right.
I'm coming to bust you.
Right.
Michael, Isaiah, Dr. J. You can't have one over me. See, I'm coming to get that. Now, okay, hi.
This is what I
Let them
said.
score.
It's gotta become 200 to 200.
What is that?
But if the players don't care, then why should the fans care?
Yeah, exactly. There it is. There it is. We can't get into it if you're not into it.
It's a reason why the number of viewerships are going down, and these guys better wake up and say, hey, man, we got to change this.
We wanted to play in every game.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to be in the slam dunk. I don't want to be at the All-Star weekend. Guys talking about they don't want to be the face of the league. It's crazy now. And we've never seen that ever before in the history of the NBA.
Well, for me, I think the integrity of the game is gone. As the identity for the league as a whole, it don't have that tough. Every night I'm going to watch these guys. They're going to compete and try to kill each other to win. All that in the whole is really the reason why I think the viewership is down.
100%.
The thing that I most dislike about today's game, if a team is getting beat by 25 points and you've got your star players sitting out there laughing on the sideline, if I was the executive running that team, that person would be in my office the next day. And I want to know what's so damn funny. This is serious. I don't like that at all. I think it shows a disrespect for the game.
However, the players do care about one thing, which is another reason why the game is losing its core audience: politics.
Kobe Bryant and nearly every other Los Angeles Laker donned a T-shirt bearing the phrase, "I can't breathe." That's a reference to Garner's last words.
Justice for Breonna Taylor that's going to be my answer for everything. So
We are calling for justice for Jacob Blake and demand the officers be held accountable.
The training has to change in the police force. The unions have to be taken down in the police force.
Mitch McConnell, I ask all of you senators who refuse to do anything about the violence in school shootings and supermarket shootings, I ask you, when are we going to do something? They want to hold on to their own power. It's pathetic. I've had enough.
Hall of Fame basketball coach Phil Jackson, who coached greats like Michael Jordan, Shaq, and Kobe Bryant, isn't watching much basketball these days. Why? Because the NBA is too political.
They did something that was kind of wanky. They did a bubble down in Orlando. They even had slogans on the floor, on the baseline. It was trying to cater to an audience or trying to bring a certain audience into play. And they didn't know it was turning other people off. People want to see sports as non-political.
Yeah.
I like politics.
The thing is I think sports and politics are kind of separate entities. One, we need both, but we need them on an individual level. Politics is important. We all know this. It is what it is. But when we need a break from real life, from all the stresses and all the hardships of real life, we look to entertainment. It's always been this way. For us sports fans, we don't want to be thinking about politics and all the problems in the world for the next 2 hours. It's like going into a movie theater and watching a movie. You know, we know we're leaving the problems of the world for a couple hours, but you need that to recharge, right? That's what a basketball game was. We don't have to think about this for a little while. Let's enjoy some good competition, you know, and then we'll move on. After that, back to reality. It is what it is. But when the entertainment becomes the political platform, where do us citizens go in order to escape this for a while? You know, we can't watch the news 24/7. We need a break. And where do we go for that break now? Like, for real. It's even bled into other forms of entertainment, into video games, into our movies, where, you know, I feel like I can't watch a new Star Wars like show or movie without feeling like I'm right here in 2025 American politics. That's not a galaxy far, far away. That's modern time America. You know, like that's not this. I don't get a sense of adventure anymore out of this because it's so grounded in current day politics. And I think that's why, like, everybody has gotten more political these days, is because even if they want to avoid it, they don't have a choice now to avoid it unless they, like, throw away their phone and, like, never connect to the internet again. It's gotten way out of proportion, and I was sad to see it happen in the NBA too. Now, I'm not taking away anything from any of the causes that are being fought or whatever. Great. But as a fan, I wanted to watch, especially during COVID, man. I really needed an escape for a little while. You know, if it could just be one game a day, I needed something that I wanted to watch a good competitive sports game. That's it. Because I'm surrounded with politics and everything going on with the pandemic that, like, dude, I was exhausted. Sorry, this is such a long tangent. This is a very important issue. And I think it's true. Politics and entertainment should not be the same thing. It can't be the same thing.
I'm engaged and I like sports. Show me the study where fans and consumers are demanding they're together. Like, I love tuna fish. I have a sandwich every day and I love ice cream. I don't like tuna fish ice cream.
There it is.
But aside from politics, the game itself has overall just gotten soft.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, bro, I don't think anybody in this generation could have played like 20 years ago. 20 years ago, bro, you couldn't get to a triple step back.
Nah.
You hear what I'm saying to you? You couldn't get to a triple step back, and it was so fucking hard. It was too physical.
When you don't believe what it was like in the 70s and 80s, will you please watch the documentary on the Detroit bad guys?
I'm sorry. Hubie, I love Hubie. I've seen this before, but I forgot. He calls them the Detroit bad guys.
Please watch the documentary on the Detroit bad guys. And nobody got thrown out of those games.
No, they didn't.
You saw guys flying into the stands. Mike, you were there. Come on.
No, that's a basic foul right there. That's not even a flagrant. They didn't exist.
It was a joke. I mean, today you would, on one hit, you'd be suspended for a month here.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's why it's hysterical when these guys are bitching about going to the rim. They don't know what it was like to go to the rim in the 70s and 80s because you might not get up again.
Yep. Yeah, that might be your one and only time.
To the lane, bro, you might get your nose broke trying to dunk. You understand? Dwayne Wade broke Cole's nose in the All-Star game. Man, bro, it's just different. It was very different back then, bro.
I know, guys, and let's not act like that was in the 80s or something. Oopsie, that's a terrible arrow. This is 2012, you guys. You know, so this is a recent thing where the game has gotten this soft. You know, it's not just me being an old head saying like, oh, it's about the 80s and the 90s. No, man, we just had this. You know, we just had this, 13 years ago.
And you had to take all of those hits like Jordan and the Gervins and all of the guys that were the big, and Magic and Bird and all these guys. Come on.
If you watch the NBA, it has changed so much over the years. It's about entertainment. Dan, the rules are so relaxed, okay? They are just so relaxed.
Yep.
I think it's easier to score now than it's ever been in the history of basketball.
Today, we've got a green light for these guards and small forwards to get to the rim now, and you have to play them perfectly without the hand contact or the forearm.
The way they play defense today, where you can't hand check, you can't contest shots, you got to come on the side. I think Larry Legend could have averaged 30, 35, the way he was able to shoot threes.
Well, he averaged 30 a couple of times, so add in the 3 and these rules, then he probably 35, 36 a game.
I lost the scoring title to Kobe the year he averaged 35. I averaged 33. And if I was to play in this era where it's wide open, if I can average 33 in a season, I'm going to just take it up to 43.
Fair.
I know 10 points more.
I give him 40. With the inflation, I've done some math in the past. I don't feel like doing it right now. I'd give him about 40.
Bias. I was a defensive-oriented player, and with the way the game is being called today, it would have limited me on my aggressiveness because they've taken away the physicality of the game.
David Stern.
It's part of the reason why I'm sure you guys have been frustrated when someone drives to the lane, goes up for a dunk, and everyone just moves out the way. I mean, one, they're doing it because, it's a little soft. But two, if they even come close to the offensive player, they're going to get called for a foul. You know? And then we have the foul baiting crap that goes on. So even if they were to go straight up and down, go for a block cleanly like Alonzo did all the time. He was fantastic at it, at not getting called foul because he went straight up and down and went for the block, true contest. But a guy like him nowadays, there would be these offensive players driving to the hole, intentionally jumping into him, going out of their way, initiating the contact, and Alonzo Mourning would get punished for it and get into foul trouble and get fouled out in a heartbeat in today's game. It sucks. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Did a great job of taking all of the physicality out of the game.
And with no animosity and no physicality, the game is just kind of boring.
Yeah, all we needed to do was clean up the dirty stuff that was going on in the 80s. We did that in the 90s, and the 90s were fantastic because of it. And in the next 10 years, up to about 2010, we're still great because of that. The game was clean, but the officiating was fair. Damn, dude, I didn't think this video was going to be so interesting. Sorry for talking so much, you guys. Damn, man. You guys can tell I freaking love basketball. You know, and I want to see it get better again.
I think the physicality has been taken out of the game. And to me, that's boring. I don't think that makes for a great product.
Not to mention
and that's a current player, somebody who's playing in the current game saying it's not entertaining to me. Come on. Isn't it time to wake up then?
The flopping.
Oh, the flopping. Great basketball. Great basketball.
Draymond.
Way to contribute to the problem, Draymond.
And he's going to get called on him, and he's going to foul out.
Oh.
Nope, check that.
Floppy Dolphin Embiid. Well, that's great basketball right there. He hit the flop button on 2K. Yeah, that's sick.
That's the third time today, Dell, that the Hornets have fouled a three-point shooter.
Shot is clearly away.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Let's watch.
How does that not get overruled, by the way?
LaFlop James here in this marquee game. Play the clip.
Made contact with James and the foul called.
Foul called on the basketball?
On James here. Look after the play.
Wink.
A little bit of a wink.
LaFlop is a bad look. Flopping around, trying to draw fouls, trying to cheat the game.
Yeah, he's cheating the game. He's ruining the game. I didn't come here to talk about LeBron James. Not this video. But
there's no
he's hurting the game.
To the way LeBron James competes. Basketball.
Face of the league. Face of the league right there. Getting punched by ghosts. And ripping off the game. The integrity of the game. The honesty of the game. He's ruining it by cheating.
It looks a lot like soccer, a very finesse, soft game of soccer where they flop around and do all that. And LeBron and Luka Doncic are two of the leaders of this.
Embiid.
If I go to another game and you don't call a foul, these players go berserk now, as if it's a rite of passage to go to the basket.
Entitlement, BJ. It's entitlement.
And look for a foul. They're not even going to the basket to score. They're just going to the basket to get fouled.
Yeah.
It's pathetic. For me to watch this game the way I was taught how to play the game and to watch this and what they allow to let go, it's an embarrassment. I'm sorry, it is. It's an incredible game. The athletes are incredible.
Yeah.
What they can do is incredible. But they're getting away with murder. If you're going to allow them to get away with it, hell, of course I'll keep doing it. And I blame the officials.
Yeah. Well said, man. And the thing is these are fantastic athletes. Let's put them to the test. I really desperately want to see it. You know, bump up the physicality, make it harder for them to score. Let's do it. I want to see what they're really made of because I see there's a lot of talent here. So there's one way to really appreciate it. Make it a challenge.
Fortunately, everyone's doing it, and it's probably not going to go back to the way it used to be.
God.
Because it's a copycat league.
It is.
And if something works, they're going to run that strategy into the ground. Which brings me to my last point. Everyone plays the exact same way. There's literally no creativity left in the game because everyone shoots too many threes.
And they went through all the same programs and are trained the exact same way. It is a big problem. They're trained based off of not their individual talents and then accentuating those individual talents into something great. Now it's not about that anymore. It's not about anything unique. Take away the uniqueness, we got to follow the data, okay? Whatever the data says, that's what we need to turn you into. Essentially, it's why everyone looks like robots out there.
All 30 teams play the same exact way. How? What they all got in one big room and all came to the conclusion this is the way to play? Everyone runs a 5-out offense. Everyone shoots 50 threes a night. And whoever makes the most threes, more times than not, wins the game.
Yeah.
There's no more creativity. There's no more imagination. We have basically robots running up and down the court. You run to the three-point line, I run to the three-point line.
Damn, man, BJ said the same thing. I never heard that, like the robot thing. I thought that was me. My bad, BJ. You got it before me. That's cool though. It is exactly that. This is a big freaking problem. And it's also why, I don't know about you guys, I don't watch the 3-point contest anymore. I used to watch it every single year, but now it's like if I want to watch it, I might as well watch it in action in a game. You know, every regular season game at least is just a 3-point contest. So I don't need to watch a special event that's dedicated to 3-point shooting anymore.
Basketball, a beautiful game, is you watch two different styles of play clash.
Yes.
And they're being creative. When you put analytics into it, that puts them as the same guy.
Prime example, mid-2000s Phoenix Suns versus the San Antonio Spurs. Complete opposite systems. The Spurs were a grinded out, slow to pace down, you know, put the ball down low to Timmy, and then, you know, play the game from the inside out. The Suns, 7 seconds or less, fast breaks, 3-point shots, dual pick and rolls, you know, like it's going to be blistering speed. Combine those two teams, put them against each other, brilliant basketball. Brilliant basketball. But if we had every single team playing like the 7 seconds or less Suns, and the Suns were going against a clone of themselves, this is no longer fun. There's no identity here. There's no questioning like which system will work, which system is better, you know? Because we used to always talk about it as Suns fans. It was like, dude, this is box office. Like, we're killing it in regular season, but every playoffs we'd go, shoot, man, if we have to go against San Antonio, they might be able to beat us. You know, why? Because they're going to force us to play their style. And then it's going to expose the weaknesses in our style of play. And, yeah, man, I miss it. That's what made true clashes in this sport, was unique individuals leading unique teams.
You know, if they're both going to shoot 10 to 15 threes a night, where is that creativity? When does that shine?
It's more fun for me to go watch a pickup game than to watch the NBA.
Yeah. Well, watch Big Three. Watch the Big Three, yo. And European basketball as well. I'm a hypocrite on the European basketball thing. I haven't really been watching, but from what everybody I hear, watch your Euroball. It's supposedly way more entertaining and competitive. But even just watching like Beasley and Stevenson in a one-on-one, and then honestly, I was so entertained by that I went and watched them face off in the opening game of the Big Three, and it was really fun. I got to say, it was very competitive.
Because no one plays the same exact way in the pickup game. But when you watch an NBA game, everyone plays the same exact way. It's just a program now. Like, the defense is up on you, but you're still trying to shoot a three. The defense drops off of you. You're still trying to shoot a three. Well, they're dropping off of you because probably you can't shoot.
You have guys standing out there heaving up threes that's really not 3-point shooters.
Everybody is so enamored with the 3-point shot. So the kids, they don't want 2 points. They don't want to work with their back to the basket. That's not cool. They want to go out there in the stratosphere and shoot 3-pointers. And they don't get to realize that if you get close to the basket, a lot more of your shots will go in.
I know. That was supposed to be the battle simulation, was to get close as possible to the goal and then strike. That's what it is. And the defense's job is to keep you as far away from that home base, the goal, as possible to make your shots harder. Now we're all just snipers. You know, there's no actual battle going on. There's no battleground. Everyone is just standing up on you know, they're hiding behind the bushes and really tall mountains, and they're just sniping each other from across the way. Real fun.
They don't seem to understand that.
The NBA made a big mistake when everybody tried to model themselves after the Golden State Warriors. You know, Golden State Warriors had the 3 greatest shooters who ever lived. So everybody started shooting threes.
Every team shouldn't be shooting that many threes because every team don't have Steph Curry, Clay, and KD on their team. You don't have nothing close to number 1, 2, and 4, 5. You don't have that to be taking the same many shots.
Exactly. So why are we having guys like Embiid and whatever, like all these freaking centers? Why are they shooting threes? It makes zero sense to me.
Got guys coming down, chucking up a 3, 4 or 5 seconds into the shot clocks. I would say that's why the viewing is down. It's too much of the All-Star game feeling.
Yes.
Because it's just an up and down game where we shooting a bunch of 3-pointers.
Bro,
and it's also why our expectations on the All-Star game are unrealistic, and I think it's time to give up. They can't even meet these expectations in a regular season game. How are we expecting them to do it in an All-Star game? They can't. They don't know how to play this way anymore. They just chuck threes.
Years ago? Nah, nobody in this era could have played 25 years ago. We said that. And all the skill that everybody got actually was called bad shots and lack of efficiency. It was until they start fucking with all the data and saying take more threes than twos. Before then, we played ball, bro. And then y'all exhaust the ball. Y'all are dribbling the air out of the ball.
Harden.
Y'all dribble the ball 100 times more than another nigga.
Right.
Catch it off the bounce. 1 dribble, 2 dribble, pull up. Let me see you do that off the bounce.
Right.
And then, 2, if you was dribbling the air out of the ball, bro, nigga told you straight up, hey, man.
Come on, man.
Swing it, man. What you doing?
What you doing?
5 more dribbles? You out here? Hold on, I got it. Back it up.
Miss,
What?
don't miss.
I like
And then the worst thing you could have possibly done back in the day was dribble the air out of the ball for 22 seconds, then pass it off to somebody at the very last second, putting the pressure on them to hit a last-second shot. Like, that's the worst type of offense you can do, and I see it all the time in the current NBA.
I like to see passing, which I think has been limited in this, inside, outside, doing both. I think it's really heavily weighted right now with a 3-point shot. I think it's really heavily weighted towards scoring. They just want to see the numbers go up, and I think that's a bad strategy. But right now, I think they want guys to be able to run free, not be touched, and show their talents.
Our greatest players in the game.
He's absolutely right. All right, you guys. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Here's a hoop. Okay. We used to have passes going in and out. Like he said, John Stockton was brilliant at it. Start the ball from the inside and work it out. Stockton's around here doing his thing, trying to get the ball into the post. Then they're moving around in the perimeter. And Karl Malone or whoever else has the ball can make decisions based on their movement. And then also based on if a double team's coming. If not, he's going to go one-on-one. To either take a jumper or he's going to the basket. All right? Nowadays, here's the hoop. Okay. Nowadays, the ball is no longer going from the outside to the inside. All right? It's not working its way inside and out anymore. Now you just got players. Okay? Now you just got the ball moving to here. And then you got screeners coming, all right? Then the ball might work its way here. Then we might have a cutter out here. The ball goes in. Oh, we might have a guy up here. The ball goes there. And then usually the shot will end back out here. Like, it is never getting to the basket, okay? It's never getting into that zone. And if it ever gets to that zone, the only way it gets to that zone, and I'll be done after this, is if you got all the spacing, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish. Okay, so you got all the spacing, so all the defenders are there too. Okay? So all the defenders are there. We got ball here. All you got to do now is break past your guy. There's no help. He can't get there in time. He can't get there in time. So it becomes just a one-on-one game. So every time we see somebody make it to the basket, it's just one-on-one. It used to be you get past your opponent, then you've got 3 other guys, waiting for you that you have to get through in order to get that slam dunk. Nowadays, you just get past one guy, easy open lane to the basket.
Them are mid-range assassins. We've taken the mid-range out of the game based on numbers.
Right.
The mid-range game is being lost.
Yep.
There is a lack of appeal to it right now watching it. Nowadays, what you're seeing, guys pump fake and step sideways on the 3-point line, and you're making it a tougher shot than necessarily getting into to the paint and getting something mid-range.
NBA personnel, executives, head coaches, analytic people.
By the way, I got to point it out real quick. This is one of the greatest 3-point shooters of all time. Okay? And he's saying this is too much.
Necessarily getting into to the paint and getting something mid-range.
NBA personnel, executives, head coaches, analytic people, presidents of teams, general managers of teams, tell me to my face, Mo, and look at me with a straight face, and they say the following: a 2-point shot is a bad shot. It's like getting to a point now, Mo, where the scale has tipped so far that I'm just like, it is what it is. So I'm going to leave that alone.
I believe
that's why I've come to this consensus now that the only way to fix it is to eliminate the 3-point shot, make everything worth 2 points, and then we see. Then it becomes a battleground simulation again. Get as close to the enemy base as possible, then pull the trigger. Just like football, just like American football. It's the same idea. Soccer even. You don't see people shooting from half court in there or half field. No, you got to get as close to the enemy base, which is the goal, the hoop, as possible, the end zone, and then you strike.
Bad for our young kids that watch, because don't settle for threes. I hated shooting threes to start a game because you want to kind of build your rhythm into
Start inside and work out.
Free throw line, make some easy layups, and then the best time to shoot a 3-pointer is off of offensive rebound. And right now, it's like the first thing that the players do.
In my era, I remember when I first came to Georgetown, we played Virginia.
With Ralph Sampson?
Ralph Sampson. Ralph took a shot from about the top of the key right here. And I came down and took one from the free throw line, and Coach Thompson called timeout. He cursed me out. Said, son, get your butt in the paint. But now it's a different era. Bigs now, they want to shoot threes. That's the way the game has progressed.
Just because...
I mean, cool story, you want to shoot threes. Where's the coach at?
Dirk is 7 feet tall, and he's a great shooter. Just because Kevin Durant is 7 foot and he's a great shooter, that don't mean all you other 7-foot dummies should be out there shooting jumpers. There's a couple reasons why I think it's stupid to play like that. Because number one, you take your size advantage out the game. Guys who are physically bigger and stronger, why did I want them out on the perimeter? Because I'm not getting the other team in foul trouble if I'm shooting
Exactly.
threes.
At that point, it takes the value out of the big man. Why do we have Embiid shooting threes when we can get another guard shooting threes? Let's just get the best 3-point shooters in the world, stick them on a team, and we're gonna win. Like that's what it's come down to. So why bother having a big guy? Why make him shoot threes, which is a very unnatural shot for a lot of these big guys?
Every single coach at the collegiate level or the pro level, you know what the first thing they ask me, Mo? Can he shoot? If I sent you Shaquille O'Neal, would you ask that question? And nowadays, Mo, they probably would. If Shaquille O'Neal was playing in today's game, some executive would say, well, he can't shoot, so let's not play him. You can't tell me that, Mo. You can't tell me that the only thing that matters in the game is someone's ability to shoot a three.
Listen, if you...
And I've said it, and I've taken a lot of heat for saying it, but BJ, like that's exactly what I'm trying to get across when I say, if Shaquille O'Neal was coming up right now, out of high school and like he's trying to go to college, play basketball, he probably wouldn't make the NBA. Why? Because he's literally the opposite of what the data and analytics are looking for. They don't want a monster in the post who, he lives by dunking and by, like shots that are within 4 to 5 feet from the basket. He can't shoot threes, can't shoot free throws. They don't care about that. They don't care about defense. Because in today's game, if you got a big guy like Shaq out there with, once again, the problem with the foul baiting. So you got a giant man like Shaq in the middle of the paint, and every time you get to the basket, all you got to do is lean into him and do a little floppity flop, and then he's going to be in foul trouble immediately every single game. That's why he would not make it in today's game, and that is disgusting that he wouldn't make it in today's game. That just shows you can't be unique anymore.
have a Shaquille O'Neal, a Moses Malone, Charles Barkley.
Oh, is he saying it too? Hold on. Is he saying it too?
Is someone's ability to shoot a three.
Listen, if you have a Shaquille O'Neal, a Moses Malone, Charles Barkley, if you don't let us post up and get the other team in foul trouble or draw the double, you just don't know how to coach.
People are always asking me, where are the centers? And now the centers are the ones out there shooting threes, and the guards are the ones that are posting up.
I am the reason that big guys do not want to play in the paint anymore. Before I fell in love with Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Too Tall Jones, and Mean Joe Green was my guy. So when I came to the game, the more physical I became, I just seen all the other centers do this. They just slowly keep doing that, keep doing that, keep doing that. And now, 15, 20 years later, you got guys shooting threes. It's cute.
It's cute.
But at the center position, you're supposed to be the most efficient piece on the floor. Like if I didn't shoot over 70%, I was upset.
I like to see the bigs have more of a footing back in the game because, you look at the big guys' field goal percentage, they're shooting, the best throughout a season, maybe 60+%. And that's where a lot of times your bread's buttered, and I think we've gone away from that, and I'd like to see us get back to that.
I agree with both of them. It's true. A center's percentage should be way higher than a guard's. And that's what makes the importance of a big man. But if a center's out there bombing threes, getting maybe 30, 32, 33%, what the hell is the point of the big man? You want those easy twos from a big man. The guards can spread the perimeter, and space out the floor, and they can be responsible for shooting more threes. But that spacing should occur with a big man down low. Not only to get those easy 2-point buckets, but to also get the offensive rebounds. Come on.
Intention is if a big man comes in and wants to dominate, he can dominate, and easily. Because we have shifted away from physicality and shifted away from all that. Teams don't know how to play anymore. Like right now, teams are switching 1 to 5. I wish Spud Webb would have switched out on me. I wish Doc Rivers would have switched out on me. So if you get another guy that comes in, it'll be like it was back in the old day. It'll be one guy that you got to change your defenses for. Then the game will start to shift.
He went right to the last second there. Great video. Shaq's right, but okay. On the offensive end, Shaq's right. On the defensive end, he'd be taken out of the game because of all the ticky-tack fouls. So we have a problem here. Because I think now it's not going to take a big man to do it, to rattle the chains of what the game is and what it's become. Now we need a guy like Michael Jordan. We need somebody who is going to challenge the defense, okay? Because if they're going to switch all this cute stuff and leave the lane wide open, then Jordan, like imagine 80s Jordan coming in right now into the game. He's going to the basket every play. Anytime they touch him, he's getting free throws. And most of the time, he'll be too fast for them even to catch him. He's going to get a quick, uncontested dunk over and over and over again until the league goes, or until, a team finally wakes up and goes, okay, that ain't going to work with Jordan. So we got to figure something else on how to stop him. We need to play the Bulls differently. Okay? And then another team will come out and do the same thing. And then another, and then another. Then all the data and the analytics shift. And they never go back to how they were. Because, dude, data's cute until it's proven wrong. And then we have new data. That's always the way science and research has always gone. You need to prove, it's proven right currently. We need someone to prove it wrong. So we change the data, Okay, cool. We can still shoot more threes, but we might want to keep our big man down low in the paint to contest these quick guards who are dunking all over us, okay? So we need to shift it a little bit, but it takes somebody crazy enough to do it. And I gotta say, the only one I see in the NBA right now that I hope can shift it a little bit is Ant-Man. Because when he chooses to, he'll punish the rim. You know, we see him attack the basket at will. The problem with Ant-Man is he only does it selectively. I'd like to see him do it while proving a point. That if you guys are gonna play me like this, then I'll score 40 points a game, and it'll be all twos, all layups and dunks, and you can't stop me, and all of you guys are in foul trouble because you guys tried to stop me and you couldn't do it. Now we gotta change the rules. But I don't see it ever happening. I'm just being real. I don't see it happening because everyone is just playing into the system now. The system says, Ant-Man, shoot more threes. And it's unfortunate, but that's the reality of it. Anyways, you guys, what a great suggestion. What a great video to watch. Thank you for the recommendation. I had no idea what a rabbit hole this video was gonna go down, and I don't think I've ever talked more in a video, so I apologize, but I don't, because this is like really important stuff to me. So hopefully, if you guys made it to the end, let me know in the comments that you made it to the end. Y'all are real ones. Y'all are the real fans. Y'all are the real fans that are here because you love the game and you want to see it get better. And very easy to call everybody haters, but it ain't that. It's out of love. We want to see the game improve. We've seen it in a better state, and we know it can get better again. It just takes change, and in order to have change, we need awareness. So more people have to get to a point where they're like, oh yeah, it was better. Now how do we get back there? Hopefully that becomes a thing, but everybody is so political and defensive about it these days that they feel like they're betraying. I can't betray my guy LeBron or Steph or whatever and say that the game is soft now. You know, it's not about that. It's bigger than an individual. It's about the actual game of basketball itself. Anyways, I'm out of here. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. Shout out to your families. Shout out to your loved ones. Give them a call. Give them a text. All that good stuff. It matters. And you just never know. You never know. Guys, thank you so much. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. And most importantly, be water, my friends.